Alright, how are we all doing today? Thought I'd make a quick video. I'd been eyeing these pennies on my desk for a while, and I think they're pretty interesting, so let me know what you think about them. Crushed pennies, or pressed pennies, collector's pieces really, and I've been accumulating these for a while. I'm sure like many of you out there who would watch such a video, I've got kind of a collector's type personality, go through certain collector phases, but I think these are pretty cool. A lot of people get souvenirs when you're on vacation, and I think these are pretty neat. Of course, you have to be aware and cognizant of the fact that the copper, the brass, and bronze pennies, they were all made prior to 1982. So preferably, if you're ever making these, you want to use those. And as we all know, half the pennies in 1982 were copper. So those ones you have to check carefully. But let's just go through these real quick and see what I got. Now, I'm in Massachusetts, so a lot of these are local designs. So this one right here, from the Basketball Hall of Fame. You got Dr. Naismith, I guess. Pretty cool. This one didn't come out great. Red Sox, that was off the Mass Pike. Their machine, I don't think, is in good working order, to be honest. Another Basketball Hall of Fame. It's got like a jersey on there. Kind of hard to read that one, though. It doesn't really make sense one way or the other, up or down. Wait a minute. There we go. Another Hall of Fame one. Pretty cool. Gotta love Cabela's, great store, usually. Let's go through the New England ones first. Now these are two more crummy. I'll tell you, I think these were from the same machine, and when you look at it, I think this machine is almost worn out, the dies or the press, because they're very faint. Might have a couple more, I think. Yeah, there's one more. This is the same one, so throw that aside. Alright. Oh, there's one more Hall of Fame one. I think that's a duplicate. I must have two of those. Alright. So, other places. Let's see. This was down south. I think in Tennessee. It's pretty cool. The other cool thing about a lot of these is that on the other side, you can usually see the image of the coin. This one's a little hard to see, but you can see the Lincoln Memorial. We'll check some of the others as we go through. So this was an old vacation we did around 2003. We went out west, Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota. That's pretty cool, actually. And this one's got some great patina. Probably hard to tell, but it's really dark. Copper. That same trip, we also went here. Mount Rushmore. Pretty cool. And also part of that was, oh, where is it? I thought there was one more. Yeah, could be, oh, do you know what? I put these ones aside, this little stack, because they're made out of Zinkins, so they're not my preferred versions. But yeah, I definitely thought there was one more, but maybe there wasn't. Anyways, here's one from Gettysburg. And this one's also, unfortunately, a Zinkin descent, but still cool nonetheless. At least I think it's zinc. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to check that one later. So, I think these are all, the rest of them are part of the same trip, except this one. Almost all of these are places I've been to. Some of them were family members. Actually, I've been to P-Town before. Go to Cape Cod quite often. But these two were just Zinkins, so I put them separate. I never been to California. My dad picked up that one, which is pretty cool, Alcatraz. And that's on a zinc penny. Alright, so here's these are two other cool ones that go together. This was in North Carolina, I believe, Tennessee border. If you're not aware, these Indian reservations, I guess, or it's like sovereign Indian territory. I think it's Cherokee Nation, very small place, but yeah. I quite love that vacation. Beautiful area, and I'd recommend, well, this was right outside Smoky Mountains National Park, and very picturesque. All the rest of these were from when I went out west near Arizona, Utah. Of course, that's from Zion. And if we turn it over, yeah, you can start to see the other side of these crushed pennies. You can usually see the date, 1976. Here's a cool one. That one is Zion as well, hiking theme. And yeah. Grand Canyon. Copper penny. One nice thing about copper is that it's usually easier to film than silver, not quite as reflective and shiny. This was in Utah, in Bryce National Park, or Canyon National Park. Just a rock formation, looked like a little hammer, I guess. Didn't look too much like a hammer, but there you go. Grand Canyon. Pretty cool. If I didn't mention, there's a website, or maybe it's even an app for a smartphone. If you look up like penny collectors, crush pennies, and it'll show you the locations of all the known penny machines where you can do this. Some of them might be old, and they might update the website machines that aren't in existence anymore, so just be aware of that. Some companies obviously go out of business and they're not going to be at that same location. This one's pretty cool. I did see some mules in the Grand Canyon. Very cool. Uh-oh, she's got a fingerprint on the other side. See that fingerprint? Copper, you kind of have to be careful the way you treat it, especially if it's a brand new piece of copper like this. Now this is a zinc cent, but if this was like pre-1982, you wouldn't want to be fingerprinting it, or if you do, maybe rub it on your shirt to get the grease off, because that'll oxidize and you'll see a big fingerprint stain, like a rust stain corrosion of your fingerprint on it, until they form that layer of patina, like some of these older ones. See, these two on the left are actually like two of my older crushed pennies, because they're from around 2003, and they've probably just been sitting like in the bureau in a drawer or something. But you can see they have a very nice dark protective oxidation layer. That's what copper does. It forms a nice patina over time, and it actually helps to protect the penny or the piece of copper. Last closing thoughts on these is just what are the last thoughts? Oh, they're kind of expensive. I mean, I think a lot of places, hopefully it's 50 cents, but there's quite a few charging 75 cents also for these, which is kind of a rip-off, I think. It's a nice little chunk of change. But, these have been around since the World's Fair, I guess the Columbian Exposition. They had one in 1893. And I'd have to look it up what they charged to press the penny. Obviously, technology was different at that time. The machine was different. You needed attendants, I guess, running the machine. But I think it was 5 or 10 cents. So, boy, if it was 10 cents and you adjust that for inflation, that might be like $2 or $3 today. So, yeah, maybe 75 cents isn't that expensive, but with the machines they use, I mean, there's like no effort involved. Obviously, they have to create the designs and build the blanks and the dies, but if you're on vacation and you see like 5 different machines and each machine has 3 different versions, you might want to just do 1 or 2 designs, because yeah, I mean, these aren't worth a lot. I've never really looked on eBay. You could probably buy lots of these for very cheap. I don't think they really carry a premium, but they're just cool. Nice collector's pieces. And I guess there's a few silver crushed, well, not silver, but a few crushed quarters or dimes you can get. They're not nearly as common. In fact, I think they're only at places like Disney World or maybe SeaWorld. And to be honest, I don't even know if I'd want to waste a silver quarter or dime on one of these type dealios. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please rate, comment, and subscribe if you found this interesting, or if you happen to have a few of these crushed pennies yourself, and be interested to know your thoughts. Alright everybody, have a great rest of your weekend, what little is left.